So in the previous video, we discussed net present value profile. And if projects are mutually exclusive, which means that you can only pick one of the projects, companies will tend to use that chart to help them to decide when and what project to use. So here's an example. Suppose we have periods, projects A and B, for periods 1 through 5. And period A is going to give you a negative 1,000 cash flow, 0, 200, 300, 500, 900. Project B is negative 1,000, 400, 400, 300, 300, 200. We're going to have various rates in NPV for A and NPV for B. We're going to do this in 2% intervals. So the NPV will be equal to NPV parentheses the rate. And I'm going to anchor the column, comma. The values will be from B3 to B7, and I'm going to anchor the rows, parentheses, and then on the outside plus A2, or excuse me, B2 with the row anchored. That way I can, let's make the star sign, I can double click, and then I'm going to drag this across. So next step, I'm going to highlight the data. We'll insert all, let's do XY scatter. Here we go. So there's NPV A and NPV B. I can change that field to be, let's see, did that, okay, so that gave me gray. Let's try outline, gray. Okay, all right. So how do we use this? In just a minute, I'll talk about the crossover rate, which is kind of the indifference point or the point of changing the decision. But generally, recall when we use net present value, we always want the highest one. So in other words, oops. So we're going to choose A up until the crossover, and then we'll choose B. So it's kind of a kink curve. Okay, so we'll choose A, then B. So then the question becomes, what's that crossover rate? Okay, so to get that, what I'm going to do over here, this will be crossover rate. That's equal to IRR parentheses. I'm going to highlight the values in A. So B2 minus B7 minus this. We'll call those the incremental cash flows. And you'll get that that is roughly 12%, which looks about right on the graph. So at 12.48%. If your required return is less than 12.48%, you would choose A. If your required return is greater than 12.48%, you would choose B. And then you would choose none of these projects as soon as the NPV hit 0 for project B. So if I calculated that amount, I can actually do that for both. You can see that if you have a required return of 20.49% or higher, it would not be a good idea to accept any project, especially B as well.